Hello, Captain Jax. Welcome back to another episode of the T4Spod. I'm Rain.
And I'm Dead.
We're here to talk about movies, music, comics, gaming, and hobbies, and weird news. By the way, if you don't know, this is a podcast about nothing, no theme at all. But anyway, enough of me blabbing, let's get into it. I wrote that down like a top 10 list.
Well, you do what you got to.
I suppose. What do you do?
Alright, well, if we're going to get into it, we're going to talk first about worst movies, because I know bad movies is going to be a major theme of the Rain and Dad experience.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're going to do top 3 of each, okay? Yeah. Let's start with 3. Let's start with number 3.
Number 3 is Mountain of the Cannibal God.
Okay, well, Mountain of the Cannibal God is a good choice. That movie, and I love schlock. I love horror schlock, bad horror, scary attempts that are goofy. But that movie is absolutely cringe-worthy.
Yeah, it's not much that we scream, oh my god, is that a pig rape? Or...
Yeah, the actual pig fucking was obviously the not highlight of that movie.
It's too long, this movie is way too long, and this tribal masturbation scene is way too long.
Yeah, they fit the giant tribal masturbation scene, like the decadent Lovecraftian it's like the decadent Lovecraftian natives, having weird corpse orgies and rubbing corpse juice on people, banging pigs.
It's weird. It's so weird. It's like it just came out of nowhere too. It's just
because the movie was bad and schlocky up until that scene. It just
became bad.
Whoa! Now, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, that was horrible and it's depraved. No, but it added nothing to the film. Added absolutely nothing except they can say, well, this is a movie with, we're pretty sure, simulated sex with a pig.
I mean, if it's not simulated sex, then it's
amazing acting.
Yeah.
Oh god, and that's like the white savior movie.
Oh,
and then there's the animal cruelty.
Oh god, yeah, they just skinned a lizard alive.
Yeah, 30 minutes in, it was just like, oh yeah, well, that is not a fake lizard. They are just actually butchering a lizard.
Alive. Oh yeah, and also there was a random snake eating a monkey scene. That was awesome.
And the characters, had no idea how to navigate. They were just wandering, right? There's no coherent navigation. They just wander, and then there's stock footage of a jungle. Sometimes a jungle all around the world. Just I want to see that
I just want to see that documentary of the monkey getting eaten by the snake. Do you think they just put a monkey and a snake together in a room and they were like, what's gonna happen?
It would not be out of character for old documentaries in the 70s. But yeah, blatant animal cruelty, live on film. There's not anything redeemable about this movie. It's not secretly a funny or classic horror movie. It's just trash.
Yeah, it's like the Birdemic of animal cruelty.
Birdemic had more merit than this. This was just...
At least it was funny.
It was just to make people go, oh my god, and talk about this movie back in this. It was that genre of schlock. So we'll talk about number 2. Number 2 is particularly painful for us.
Yeah.
Just because we are lifetime Godzilla fans. And if you are a lifetime Godzilla fans, you know what movie we're talking about. Roland Emmerich's 1998 Godzilla, American Godzilla.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's yeah. So Toho, the company that owned Godzilla in Japan, had been on the rough financial patch, and they sold the rights to Sony. They sold the rights to Godzilla to Sony.
Yeah.
Roland Emmerich directed this film.
If you want to add any,
they hyped it too. The painful thing about this movie for me personally, and I know Rain didn't experience this because Rain going into it, I told Rain this is going to suck. This is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Rain saw it coming. I did not. The trailers were like, okay, there was that really cool Green Day song. You know, the brain stew with just Godzilla roaring in the background. They made it look like Godzilla could breathe fire.
Damn it. Why did they make it not Godzilla? That's not Godzilla.
Yeah, that would have been a perfectly decent Godzilla knockoff if you didn't call it Godzilla.
Damn it. Why didn't they, it's just, and also apparently it was so bad that they just, Toho brought back the rights and then made a movie where Zilla got their ass kicked.
They changed the monster to Zilla, and they bought the rights back from Sony after that movie bombed critically, and that whole thing with the Siskel and Ebert analogs, the guys that were like basically the mayor and his assistant, the Siskel and Ebert, and he was like, fuck the critics, and the critics were like, if you were going to say fuck the critics, man, you should have made a better movie.
That's
So Godzilla fans naturally outraged when they see this film of Jurassic Park moments and, you know, a goofy worm guy and a dumb plot. And then Godzilla. Godzilla is killed by missiles. He's killed by rockets and torpedoes. You know, and I mean, no disrespect to torpedoes, because they're awesome. But
Godzilla?
This is supposed to be immune to our... Godzilla is a natural force that is immune to our weapons, and they're just, throwing rocks. That's one of the main themes of fucking Godzilla.
Yeah,
and they're
also, it was
no, we just need to get him in position and torpedo his ass.
Oh my god, Jesus.
Well, fuck, that was easy.
Yeah, maybe we should have...
And then the torpedoes miss and they blow up, and it's like, man, you could... Oh, it's dumb. Everything is wrong.
The dialogue, even. They couldn't even make good dialogue.
No.
All of it was awkward and bad.
No, and part of that was the 90s, you know?
Yeah,
they wanted to make it, funny in the way that Friends is funny, and instead they made it not funny in the way that Friends is not funny. Yeah, it was wrong. The quirky worm guy. Crazy thing about this movie, though, and I didn't know this. When we were researching this, I was reading the TV tropes page about this movie. Yeah. This movie and the cartoon animated series that was made from it, using that rough continuity, I say rough because I mean it's they took as little as possible, and they used Godzilla lore, but that ended up being successful. And that kind of brought a Godzilla renaissance.
Is it good?
I only kind of remember it. I only saw a couple episodes. But the Godzilla looked like Godzilla. He didn't look like Zilla.
Wow, good job for getting things right.
So it actually had the right to be called Godzilla the Animated Series. It's not even the first Godzilla animated series. Compared to the old one, like the 60s one, it's genius. But that kind of resulted in a renaissance because toys started selling, and when Toho bought the rights back, we got the whole 2000s era of Godzilla. The revival era with Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla vs. Biollante. So, in a weird roundabout way, Roland Emmerich saved Godzilla as a franchise by fucking up.
Yeah, I do want to kill him, though.
No, I am super pissed about that movie. Because again, I saw it. Again, I was excited for it. And I was like, oh, they're going to make an American Godzilla movie. Oh.
That's kind of cool, man.
Nope. I went home and I just tried to watch Godzilla 1985, which is my comfort Godzilla movie. It's not quite my favorite. And I couldn't because I was so mad.
Oh. That is a low for Roland Emmerich. Wait, did that guy direct any other movies, or did he just get...
I'm sure he did, but I'm not the guy I don't know. It's not like I followed his career after that. Fuck. Alright, so we'll go on to number one. Number one is particularly painful for Rain.
I could not even, I made it only halfway through this movie, so maybe I'm not the best to judge it, but oh my god. No! No!
Yeah, I mean, I only was a casual fan of Avatar. I soaked it up through you watching it endlessly and being obsessed with it.
I am obsessed with it now.
Drawing fan art of Zuko. Yeah, so yesterday.
Yesterday.
Like so much so that I didn't even watch this.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
It's like at least like, you know, we give the room some credit. It's like it's a bad movie, but I mean it didn't ruin anything for me. It didn't ruin Avatar.
Well, and that's with the worst. It's like the Godzilla for us. It's when it ruins something you love.
Oh my god, yeah. And also, I couldn't even like look. It's like almost, you know, the near the end of the third season where they watched the play that was being put on of Avatar, and like Aang was being played by a girl, and like
that was the kind of meta episode.
Yeah. That's what it had to be based on, because it was so bad. It was ridiculous.
So he watched the In the Show about the show, and was like, all right, well, I've got a grasp on this.
Yes, it's good.
Was it Zuko x Katara?
There was no Toph in it.
There's no Toph, yeah. Well, I mean, that's huge, because that is the best character.
Yeah. There's no Toph in it. There's no, there's no...
And you always talk about the pronunciations, too.
Oh, my God!
The pronunciations piss Rain off. It's one of those things... It's one of those things that I have heard the rant many times, but...
Ong!
Yeah.
Iroh! And Sokka!
Yeah.
What the hell?
3, that's a 0 for 3, you know. The Ongong.
The Ongong, yes.
Yeah, it's the Aang gang, but it's the Ongong.
Oh my
Which,
god.
if you say it enough, sounds racist. But yeah, I don't know. I again, didn't watch this, but I saw how pissed the fandom was, even before I was aware of this show. You know. Rain, were you aware going into it that the fandom hated it?
I was aware that there was a movie, and my grandparents watched it.
We all got into this pretty late, right? Years after it was released.
Yeah, I watched it with my grandparents, because my grandparents put it on, and I was like, wait a minute, who's this guy? Who directed it? M. Night Shyamalan. Okay, so this guy is the guy with the mighty sword. Oh my god, did you shove it up someone's ass? What the hell? What the hell, man? What are you doing? What are you doing with that sword?
So that's right out the gate? The opening credits or something? Like, when did you tune in? Was it at the beginning of the movie?
The beginning of the movie is when you might notice something, and the scene of the movie, the ice scene, that wasn't the only thing that was extremely white about the movie. Oh, they whitewashed everyone.
Yeah, so it's well, I mean,
the first clip was wrong.
When did it come out? Do you know?
I don't remember. No,
I mean, anime characters always get whitewashed because they're drawn white.
But the thing is, all of the background characters, like the Eskimo characters, like the families, they were all Eskimo. They were all Eskimo
which
actors.
They should be, and the native, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm betting that they did do that, though, given the time.
Oh, did I ever tell you about the new show that's going to come out about Avatar? It's terrible. It's going to be terrible. They set it in a school, which is like a gay fan fiction of it.
Yeah.
It's like that gay fan fiction that
I know what you're talking about. The high school AU, the Sokka x Zuko that you love because you're weird.
I liked that I really...
No, but there's no reason ever to translate that fan fiction to film. I get why that fan fiction has a place, because people are in high school and they want to write a high school story.
I wish that it wasn't in high school, though. I wish that fan fiction wasn't in high school, because the only reason I didn't like it as much is because they took away their powers. Oh, yeah. In the new show, they take away the powers.
So they're actually just full... Well, and that's crazy. That's crazy to even consider.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, The Last Airbender featuring Zero Airbender.
Yeah. No airbenders, no firebenders, no nothing.
So, yeah. I can see why that movie would have pissed you off. I still haven't seen it, and I don't really plan to. Thank God for that.
So are we going to get on to the best movies?
Let's save the best movies for next time. Just because I still dispute this list.
I still dispute it. What is that supposed to mean, Dad?
I'm just saying, I think we can do better on this list. We are missing several films. So,
So are we going to get on to the best movies?
let's save the best movies for next time. Just because I still dispute this list. I'm just saying, I think we can do better on this list. We are missing several films. So, let's go ahead and talk some of our interview questions here. This is we'll do our interview section and we'll talk about some gaming stuff. That'll be fun.
All right. So, what's the personal question, Dad? What's the worst D&D experience that you've ever had?
And that's not easy because I've had a lot of great experiences, but the bad ones do stand out. All right. So, have you ever heard me? You might have even heard me tell this story. You ever heard me tell the story about the guy we call Fuckstick?
I've heard of you calling Jared Poopstick.
No, Poopstick is a different story. Fuckstick, okay. So we had just moved to Bloomington. This is the year of our Lord, 2006. We just moved to Bloomington as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Jared, your Uncle Jess, and Shane, and a bunch of other just the scum of Jefferson County moving to become the scum of Monroe County.
Yeah, okay.
It's what happened. The great Madison diaspora. We just moved up here, and we'd been gaming the whole time because we gamed. I was always running a campaign. I was always running something. We burned through characters. It was a great time of gaming where we did all this fun, creative stuff. But at one point I said, okay, I'm going to run a Shadowrun game. And let's meet somebody in the community and see what Bloomington's made of. Let's get some Bloomington gamer up in here. Have something from outside.
Oh, no. Dad, Bloomington?
Well, it's not that Bloomington is the worst. It's just we happen to meet the worst guy, right?
Bloomington, Dad. It's Bloomington. They're scared of gore.
Well, it's not even that was not the issue. This guy, okay. We called him Fuckstick. I forget what his real name was. Was it?
You only remember them as Fuckstick.
I cannot think of his name right now. And we're running this Shadowrun game. And Jake has come up from home and is hanging out. We've got 4 or 5 players. They all put together these really cool characters to make this Shadowrun game happen. But what ends up happening is this guy we know from work where we're working or something like that. And it wasn't me that knew him, but they were like, he came in, he has this really cool tattoo of a koi on his shoulder,
mm-hmm.
but he's like, I'm going to be a sniper. I'm going to play a sniper. I'm a sniper. That's my thing. I'm going to play a sniper. And I was, that should have been a red flag. When a player tells me they want to play a sniper, I always kind of just go, unless I know that player. Yeah, because I'm like, all right, this guy wants to do one thing really well, and that's all he's going to try to do. And sure enough, sure as daylight, the team, I set them up on this mission. I set the team up on this crazy mission where they have to meet with some crime boss and deal with some crime guy. And Fuckstick is like, all right, I'm going to take up an Overwatch position and watch over the deal. So when we watch over the deal, I'm going to have my sniper rifle out and I'm going to be watching them. And so the key team goes into negotiations. They do some great role playing. They're trying to get a leg up on this gangster. And one of the guys does something. And as I do this, I see this guy's getting bored. And I'm starting to worry. Because I've been DMing a long time. I know that look. And the guy's like, one of the guys says something in the negotiation and shoves one of the player characters. And the guy's like, fuck it, I take the shot. Because he's like, I'm bored. And so they spent all this time negotiating to get this advantage, to get this job. And that guy sees the shove as part of this negotiation and intimidation thing that they're kind of doing. And because he's bored, he's just like, I'm shooting. And so he hits the shot. He wipes the guy out because he's a sniper. He's built for that. And I'm like, well, cool. That's your payday. Gone. And so the whole team, and it wasn't for any in-character reason. He just justified it because he was like, well, no, dude, I saw the shove. And I'm just, because he was bored. Because he was like, well, there's nothing for a sniper to do during a tense negotiation. Amazingly, that's why when I hear somebody say, I want to play a sniper, I worry about it. That's about the worst time. Yeah, and that guy is now known as Fuckstick.
Is it because he fucked it up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And he did not play with us again.
Yeah, okay. You were just answering all my questions there about the worst D&D experience. Wait.
Yeah, the world was Shadowrun, which means, magic and elves and trolls, plus guns and cyberware and, computer wizardry and all that. So Shadowrun's a cool world. I actually, once we recovered from that turned out to be a great campaign. But he was specifically gone. And the other player characters killed him. They actually killed him for that fuck up. And he did not like that. Yeah, because the session almost ended up being fun because he tried to fight them, and that was like the longest combat scene ever whenever it's player versus player. So.
Oh.
But yeah, that was the worst D&D experience.
So, when it comes to, I'm going to ask you about comics.
Okay, other random questions about comics, go ahead.
So, Dad, what do you think about what do you think about the Archie comics? Huh?
Again, I'm indifferent. Archie is one of those things that's so much part of the cultural landscape, but I never participated in it. I didn't read Archie. Nobody did. Those were comics you got at the grocery store, man.
How are you can get Batman comics at the grocery store, though?
Well, I mean, that was less true when I was growing up in the 90s.
Yeah. The 90s.
Archie comics were right next to the crosswords in the checkout line at the Kroger, and that's what they were for, is to read while I was standing there.
Huh. So, also, if you haven't read that much, but, I want to know, in your opinion, is Jughead asexual?
All Jughead's interested in is food.
Right? But he's never been interested in girls or boys. He's never when it comes to Archie, the actual character Archie, he's always oh wow, look at that girl, and he said wow, look at that, and he's like, wow, yeah, that's some pizza right there. And he's never paying attention to the girl. He's paying attention to the food in her hand.
Yeah, and because that's half the jokes of Archie. Haha, Jughead wants food.
He's
hungry. And then there's the dumb guy, Moose, is his name?
No, wait, isn't Archie dumb?
Well, no, I mean the really dumb. There's a dumb jock character.
Yeah, no, that would be Moose. That would be Moose.
It's fucking Moose. It's just but that's so dull. I don't get why will he or won't he is so interesting to people. It's not interesting to me. If you want an interesting, kind of romance comic, I recommend Angel Love. DC's Angel Love.
Honestly, I thought...
that comic, we had it on our toilet for a while. An issue of it. And I actually have several issues of it.
Wait, is that the girl with the crab hands?
No, that's Queen Crab.
Oh.
We do have toilet comics. In fact, later on, we should just go through as a feature, we should discuss, oh yeah, these are the books that are right by the toilet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's called Angel Love, and it's kind of a cute little romance webcomic, but there's will here, won't be, but the plot actually develops. Because the plot can never actually develop in Archie. They cannot resolve anything.
Although it does have... I mean, they can't resolve anything, but that does mean that they can just have random crossovers.
Well, random-ass crossovers are the best part of Archie.
I think it would have been funny in, Riverdale if they just... had one of the characters that they cross over. You talk about this, but they
like Punisher.
Yeah, they just had
Punisher shows up as a school dance.
Yeah, and he's not even talking or doing anything. He's just in the background, probably just
looming.
Just
looming over everything. He's got
punch in his hand.
Yeah, and he's in full Punisher. The shirt and the big fucking future laser gun. Because. Because that happened. Yeah, Ninja Turtles would also be...
Yeah, they would have also just been, climbing out of the sewer in the middle of one of those romance scenes.
If they did that on Riverdale, I would go on IMDb, I would create an account, and I would rate it Riverdale 5 stars every episode.
Yeah.
Because that would be amazing. If they I would even if they actually did a crossover with Ninja Turtles, because if they're going to make Riverdale incredibly dumb in the late season, why not go with fully incredibly dumb?
Oh yeah, that would have just Archie comic stuff.
Sonic the Hedgehog. They just released that new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, dude. Put Sonic in that movie.
I actually think that they... Oh, my God. I think that they did technically reference to that because they had an arcade
in Riverdale, really?
Yeah, they, like, had a They had a little cartoon, well, not cartoon. Why did I say cartoon? They had an arcade, and a lot of the times they would play Sonic in it. Like, that would be the main game that they would play. They would play Sonic all the time. That's the thing that I remember. Also, a lot of King Kong, but like mostly
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Sorry. Yeah. I haven't got to an arcade in a while.
Archie Crossovers are ripe ground for parody, because if you really think about it, Archie is like the linchpin of a million universes.
Yeah, and also, like, they
hoard that intellectual property out to anyone.
Also, everyone either knows about the Archie comics or the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or both.
You know, for the longest time, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the show, I thought it was a sequel to Bewitched, the old show about a witch, and not based on I'd never heard of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah, I read comics all my life growing up, and also, I had never heard of that.
Also, if you really think about it, it's so weird because Archie and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, they're connected, so that means that
Magic exists. Yeah, magic exists in the Archie universe.
That's weird, right?
You said that they had something about Sabrina on fucking Riverdale,
Yeah,
right?
they did technically have that. And also they mentioned it all the time in the new show about Sabrina, too. They mentioned Riverdale all the time. It was really weird. And also, I think that they went... Oh my god, the little school, the private school, the prep school, if you watch Riverdale, it's like the one where Jughead gets almost murdered. Sorry if that's a spoiler alert. There is no spoiler.
Be alert for Riverdale spoilers whenever Rain is talking, even about other subjects.
But like, so I think that oh my god, wait, I gotta find out. One second, I'm gonna. So like.
This brief interruption brought to you by Rain not remembering to plug in the computer.
Shut it!
Start the podcast.
That's not very nice. This computer, it was at full charge. It's at full charge, Dad.
Recording is electricity intensive.
Yeah.
All right. But that's pretty much, I think, all we had on the docket for today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good first half hour for our introduction.
So, like, that was it for Rain and Dad's Talking About Nothing.
Yep. Stay tuned for next time. I think next time we'll feature our top 3 best movies. We'll sort out that list. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll talk about the first comic you ever fell in love with. You know, maybe some martial arts. Talk about some martial arts. How that's in fact in our lives. We'll be here to talk about nothing again.
So, see ya.
See you later.
Yeah.